Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. I love a good Friday, especially when I can craft over the weekend. I hope you can too. Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. I am very excited because today, I gotta adjust this, sorry. Today we have one of my favorite humans in the world and the queen of lives. So when I get to go live with her, I'm very excited. It is Gina K. Mike, can you bring in Gina? Where is she? There she is.
Hey, how are you?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It is great to be here and great to see you and be with everybody else too.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if Mike can allow me to see the comments. I would love that if that's possible. It could just be that we have to click on something, but I don't know. But how fun is this, Jennifer?
He will text you if you can give your phone to Tom. How about that?
Okay.
He'll
All right,
tell you
that
how to do
sounds
it.
good. Okay.
I'm good. It's Friday. Yeah, after this, Lila and her friends are coming over, so it'll be loud. Go figure. You remember those
I
days, right?
I do. I always love your photos that you share with all the shoes at the door. It's so,
Oh,
and I remember those days. They're good days. They're good
yeah,
times. Yep.
absolutely. I've discovered that preteens, like junior high level, is are louder than high school level. The decibel level is astonishing. I
Yeah.
was on a different floor and this loud notification came on my watch. I'm like, okay, that's loud. That's loud. So, anyway, you remember those
That's so
days.
fun. I
So
do. I do. I love
today
them
we
too.
have our tag team technique. Do you want to tell everybody about our tag team techniques?
Yes. So today, it's always fun for Jennifer and I to brainstorm on what we want to do together. And one of the things that I think at one time we asked, like, what do people want to see? And fancy folds or fun folds were a big request. So I
Absolutely.
know you've done a million fun fold videos. I've done a million fun
Yep.
fold videos. So what's nice about this is you and I can share the folds and then we can show some card samples
Yes.
without having to make the full card, which would not, I mean, we wouldn't be able to show as much if
Right.
we had to do it that way. So I think this is going to be so much fun.
Brienne is in our, she's my link ninja. She can like find links faster than the speed of light. She's in the comments and she shared a playlist of our tag team videos. I believe she did. So you
Oh,
can go back
cool.
and see old ones. There's like, we did background stamps and we did the fuse foiling, white ink. We've done all kinds of things. So today is about fun folds. So we're
Yes.
each going to share just like the card base for two fun folds and then show examples. Now, Gina's got a lot of examples for hers because she is so prolific and makes so many cards. I'm sharing two newer things today, so I only have one example of each. But the good news is when this live is over, I'm going to put up a video right away that shows like the completion of those cards. So I'll teach the basis today and then in the live, and then after this I'll put up a pre-recorded video finishing them off. And I don't know about you, Gina, but sometimes like I forget fun folds. Like I forget about one and I have to go back and look. So one of the things that I've started to do lately is when I try a new fun fold, I make a base just out of whatever cardstock I have on hand. And I keep that base in a drawer. So I have all my fun folds in a drawer. So we're making bases like that. So if somebody's watching and wants to make bases like we're doing today, they could keep those handy. So next time they
Mhm.
need a fun fold, they can refer to that and follow the measurements and easily put it together. So I'm going to try that because I forget everything.
I agree with you. I think fun folds they're so beautiful and they're so fun for the recipient to open, but at the same time, they never seem to be the first thing that comes into my mind. I
No.
take that cardstock, fold it into an A2 or an
Yep.
A6 or 5 by 7, and I'm thinking that way. So that's a great idea to keep those. And one thing that I wanted to share, and I think Mike might have the link, on my website, which is ginakdesigns.com, I have a blog. I don't blog, but I use that blog to share charts and templates that you can download. So every time I do a fun fold video, I make a template
Nice.
and then I put a QR code that will direct you right to the video so you can watch that. So I'm going to show you what a couple of those templates look like today. And then
Great.
if you want to head over to my blog, you can see the pictures of the different fun folds and you can download the template, but then do what Jennifer said, make that base and keep it
Yeah.
with your template. And that'll just, that's just
Yeah.
another way to try to remember all these fun
You
techniques.
you could put them like in a page protector, your template,
Mhm.
and then a card base example, and put them in a binder. That'd be a great way to keep them all together. Mike has added that. Did you add it to the supply list? So for my lives, what I do is at the on the top of the description, you'll see a link that says for visual supply list, and there's like a link with the word live in it. If you click that, it'll take you to another page, and it will have everything we're talking, like the products, most of the things we're talking about today, but it'll have a link there for Gina's templates, so you can find them there. And I bet he can add them to the chat also, because I know you've got a lot of those, and those will be super helpful. So do you
Cool.
have templates for the ones you're doing today? Do you know?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. In
Good.
fact, I wouldn't even know how to do them if I didn't have my templates because I can't remember.
I
And
know.
it makes it easy for me. Even though I've done them a couple of times before, it's really hard to remember all those measurements.
Oh,
Um,
I'm always
right?
going back to my own videos and like pausing them as I go, trying
Same.
to remember everything. These are the things we don't
Absolutely.
remember.
Right. Right. And so, Jennifer, I don't know, do you want to, because we have a special today. And I think as people start to see some of the different card samples or some of the things that we talk about, they might think, oh, I'm going to put that on my wish list. And because Jennifer was so kind to host today's tag team video, we thought it would be fun to give you guys a coupon code. So, do you want to tell them about it?
Yes, so it was funny because I wanted to surprise you and have a video done with my cards using some older Gina K products that I was going to put up after this, right? And I was texting you to tell you that, and you texted me like right when I was about to text you, and you said, "What if I gave everybody 15% off site wide for the
Hmm.
weekend?"
Yeah.
Exclusive to my viewers. And I was like, wait a second, that is incredible. Incredible. So Gina is offering 15% off site wide. The only things it excludes are gift cards, right? And
Yes.
previous orders, right?
Yeah, you can't go back and apply it to an order that's already placed, but this is
Right.
for new orders coming in anytime from right now through Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So you have the whole weekend to kind of
Yes.
watch this video, see what you like, even make a wish. Some of you have a wish list already. It might
Yeah.
be a great time to tap into the wish list. Just make sure you use Jennifer's link because she's so kind as to host this. So make sure that you use her link when you go over there.
And the code for that is in the YouTube description and on that live supply page. I think it's 15 Jennifer.
Yep.
And what's funny is just 2 days ago, I placed an order for your new magnet sheets. I
Yeah.
can't wait to try those. I'm excited about the 6x8 size. And I ordered some more masking magic, but I forgot to order envelopes. So my cart is full of your envelopes, and I can use that code.
You got 15% off.
Yes, yes,
That's
because
awesome.
I love your envelopes and I use them quite often in videos. So be sure, and Gina just had a big release on Tuesday. Some of them were
Yes.
so popular they sold out, but
Hmm.
there are quite a few of them in stock. I used all older stuff today, except one thing, but that one's in stock. So it'll be exciting. We have a
Yeah.
lot to share. Would you like to
Yes. Yes.
go
Yes.
first, or would you like me to go first?
Why don't it doesn't matter to me. What works best for you?
You go first. You're my guest.
Okay. Okay, I'll go first. All right. So let me see which one I want to do first. I think the first one I'm going to do is this one here. So this, I've got to find the template for it because I want to show you the template here. Um, Let me find it real quickly. This is
Oh,
called
I'm not
an
there.
an
There I am.
interlocking fancy fold. Oh, and I dropped my glasses. Okay, it's going to be that kind of day, Jennifer.
Oh, we need those glasses. We need
I
those,
know,
don't we?
right? Right. So this is called an interlocking fancy fold.
There. Oh,
So let
let
me
me
just
enter.
show you how it opens here.
Hang on,
So,
Mike messed, just a second, Gina. Mike messed up
okay.
we need her on screen and me in the corner. That's me on screen.
Her on screen.
Yeah.
And you in the corner.
Yeah, this is me, right? I see me right now on screen. Hang on.
No problem.
We got a little mess. There we are.
There we go. Yay.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure this was big for everybody to see.
Sure, thank you. So this is called an interlocking fancy fold template. And you can see the way it opens here. It opens and then you've got that panel in the center, but these panels cover it up really nicely on the front. So it kind of is a little bit like a gatefold where it's kind of center based, but it's got this cool, it can stand up, which is nice. And then with the different little panels here, you can create them to all coordinate by doing some of that light stenciling in there.
Wow.
And let me show you how easy this is to put together. Now, here is the template that's available on my website. Interlocking fancy fold template. It tells you all the different sizes that you can cut out to make this card. And it tells you what size to cut the main piece, and then the turquoise or the teal lines are where you score. Then down here, it's got a little scan me. If you use your smartphone or your iPad, you can hold it over that. It'll take you right to the video so you can make this card along with me. So I'm going to do this template using a piece of turquoise C cardstock, and I'm going to start with a big paper cutter here. So just give me a second. I know I'm a little off the screen, but I'm going to cut this like the template says, 10 3/4 by 5.5. So I'm going to start at 10 3/4. You do need a big paper cutter for some of these fancy folds. Does make it easier. By 5.5. Okay, so that is the size of the card that you're going to start with. So yes, it's true that some of these fancy folds do take a whole sheet of cardstock, but in my opinion, they are so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to just follow along with this template, and it tells you that you're going to score this at 1 5/8 and then 3 1/4 inches. So we'll take the scoring tool and do 1 5/8 and then 3 1/4 inches. Okay, now this one, rather than going all the way up to the higher number, because a lot of us have small scoring boards, all you have to do is flip this and do the same thing on the other side, right? So 1 5/8 and then 3 1/4. Now what that leaves in the middle is a 4 1/4 inch card by 5.5. So then you're going to fold this one forward, and then you're going to
And
fold
all of this is on that
back.
template, right? All those measurements?
All the measurements
That's
are
awesome.
on the template. Yep. So there we've got our first side, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to fold forward, and then we're going to fold back. So when you close this, you see the center, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine because we're going to create small panels that are going to take up the front of the card and make it completely close. Now, I've given you the measurements for the small panels, but if you want to make life easier, you can use our double stitched and single stitched rectangles to cut these out. So you want to use the medium size one, which is going to cut out this bottom one here. And then you want to use the larger one, which is going to cut out the top one. So you can see that these are going to overlap across the front. And then what's nice is if you have the double stitched ones and you pick up the single stitched ones, you can also create those little shadow layers, because our single stitched dies are 1/8 of an inch bigger than all of our double stitch dies. You can use them for the same purposes, but when you layer them together, you get the little shadow layer.
I love the little shadow layer, and I love that you always provide that because it's hard to do on your own.
Yeah, especially when, as the pieces get smaller, it seems like they get even harder to
Yeah.
nail perfectly.
Tricky.
So I'm
Yep.
gonna get my intracut here. Oh, Jennifer, I didn't even think of this, but finally the intracut is back in stock, and I know a lot of
Yes.
people have this on their wish list. 15% off of the intracut would be a good deal, wouldn't it?
So you get 15 per, if you get the intracut, isn't it right that you get 15% off, and then do you still get the free stamp set?
You would get a free stamp set too, because any order over $75 gets our free stamp set, and it's so nice this month.
Oh, I
It's
love it.
the Elegant Thoughts. Do you have that one?
Yes, I'm using it today. So we'll show it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to cut these out of white just to show you how these all layer together, and then I want to show you how to position these so that they cover everything up perfectly. So just give me a quick second to cut these panels out, and you can see they're so cute with the little shadow layer in there. I'm cutting both of these out with the same white piece of cardstock. I don't have my magnetic mat here, so I'm just going ahead and using this. I was cutting something out that really needed to be precise. And even though I love magnetic mats, when something has to be super precise, I can't help but use tape. Like I
Yeah, I
feel
get
like
that.
I have to use tape. So
It's like a security blanket. Real quick, somebody
it's
asked in the comments about the intricate, so I want to make sure we talk about this. Brenda asked, can you use better press plates in Gina's intricate machine? Yes, you can. I did a complete video on the intricate. Brienne put it in the chat, the link in the chat, but that intricate video shows how to use the Better Press and the Glimmer foil machine and all that in the intricate, and it tells you what settings. You just change the dials on the side, and it makes it super easy, and it works great with the Better Press system. I just wanted to mention that because somebody asked.
Yeah, Jennifer, your video on the intercut is amazing. It is so thorough. So if anybody wants to learn more about that, I would definitely recommend that, because you have experience with the Better Press. I don't. You have
Yeah,
experience with the Glimmer. I don't. And you show how it can be used with any of that. So I think that's
absolutely.
awesome. So thank you for doing that video. I
Hey, that
know.
was so much fun to put together because it was just like seeing all the things this machine can do just by turning the dial. It's pretty cool.
So fun. Okay, yeah, I forgot all about that. And I know a lot of people have that on their wish list, and they're waiting for some kind of a sale. So hey, today's
Here's your
today's the
sale.
day,
Yep.
right? Now I pre-cut this master layouts too,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm going to cut a black one out of the shadow layer for that. I just happen to have that here. Now master layouts 2, let me find it here. This is a great die set for some of these fancy folds. It really
Yep.
does help you create panels for the top, for underneath. And I love how these dies all were designed to work together.
I actually
So
have all the dies from the Master Layouts 2 stuck on a magnet in my cabinet door because I use that Master Layouts 2 so much.
it's a popular one, and I think it's
Yep.
great because I think most of us make the A2 cards at least
Yep.
more than most. Although Jennifer, because of one of your posts that I saw,
Yeah.
we did recently do one for A6.
A6. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Gina,
Yeah.
real quick question.
Hmm.
Somebody asked about free US shipping on your site. How
Yes, we
much
have
is
free $50. You
$50?
get free
Man.
shipping. Yeah, with $50.
Oh, ho,
Uh-huh.
ho.
Did I
You're very
drop?
generous.
I think I. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, thank you. Free shipping with 50 in the U.S. We also have really great international shipping rates too. It is a flat 8.95 to Canada. It doesn't matter like
Wow.
how much you order. The Intracut does have a surcharge for shipping because that thing is 15 pounds all packed
Yeah.
in the box. The machine itself weighs 10 pounds, but it's 15 pounds in the box. But everything else, even the fuse, there's no additional shipping, and it's 8.95 flat to Canada, and it's 15.95 flat rate anywhere else in the world.
Wow. That's
And
good.
some of those orders cost like $50 for us to ship. So So I'm just laying these together so you can see how they layer nicely together. This is the double stitched rectangles and the single stitched rectangles, and that's how you create the shadow layers.
Okay, I
Okay,
don't have
now
those. I guess what I'm buying this weekend along with my
it's
envelopes.
it's going in your cart, right?
Did you add those? Mike added them to the supply list because I need to find them later. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Add them to Jennifer's cart too while you're there, Mike.
yeah.
Okay, so now we have this fancy fold. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to center this panel in the center of that card. All right, you want to do this first because this is the way you're going to be able to know where to place these panels. So once you pop this into the center here, like this, then you can close the one side and you can make that fit so it blocks
Ah,
this here, right? Okay. So we're
yeah.
going to add just a little bit of tape down here and we're going to close this and we're going to
Wow.
line it up right over that, like that. Okay. Now,
That's awesome.
it's okay. It doesn't matter if it, let's see, we're going to do this one now. Okay. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do just a little bit of tape on the side. And then with this closed, sorry, let me do that again. I don't have that tape down really well. What I would recommend too, if you really want a good bond here, is to use our terrific
Connect.
tape because that, or
Oh,
connect
okay.
glue. Yeah, yeah, either one. Okay, and now this, what I'm going to do is just cover, see how I have that closed? I'm just going to cover this little bottom
That little
here,
nook there.
that little nook
That's
there.
so cool how it lines up.
Okay, yep, yep. Now I could do it this way. Now let me show you another way that I can do it, okay? Because if you want to spread it out more, you can do this while it's closed, and you might like
Okay.
this look better, okay? All you have to do then is make sure that this is covered here. So let's do this because I think this is going to give us a little bit better hold. I'll put a little more tape here. Now we'll close this, and we will cover the top like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And the way I'm guiding this is I'm just making sure that I have an even border here and here.
Okay.
Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing down here. Let's give it a little extra tape. I think it's just going to hold better if we do it this way. I'm going to do the same thing down here and just cover that. I don't even have to go all the way in. I just have to make sure that I have an even border side to side there. Okay, so there we go. Now, you see how that will close like that.
Oh,
And now you
cool.
can decorate this
Any
with
way you
anything
want.
you want. So you could put flowers in here. You can extend your greeting over. The only thing you have to make sure is whatever you put on this panel, that you don't tape it past here. And
Okay.
anything that you put on this panel, you don't tape it past here. This way, when
So it
you
locks.
open the card, it won't
Locked
be
together.
taped locked together, right? So you can see here I decorated this one using the Delicate Flowers Stamp and Die bundle. This also has coloring stencils, so I colored this in with the coloring stencils.
Okay.
This was from a set by Dina Gerner, and I will look that up so I can have Brianne or Mike share this greeting. This is from one of her little cute bear sets, but you can also use our new incentive set to put a greeting in there. And then
Yep.
I used the Harvest Flourish stencil there to
Ah,
just create that light stenciling behind all three panels. So this one is called the Interlocking Fancy Fold Card. You could find that template on the on my blog, and you can download it and print it, and you can scan to watch the whole video on how this card was created. But really the important stuff is right here in this video of how to create that interlocking fold. And once you
so
get it into the envelope, everything kind of flattens out a little bit more and it stays a little more closed, but it will stand up.
So the cool thing
So,
is now that you've made that, you could keep that with your template, and that could
yep,
be like in a folder or something, a sleeve, so you can refer
there it
back to
is.
that anytime. Because these are fun because they're different than what you buy in the store, and that is just beautiful. What was the name of that floral set again? Because I
This
love
is
that.
This is called Delicate Flowers. What's neat about this floral set, Jennifer, is it does have the coloring stencils, and you can also get coordinating polyglaze for it if you want to do a
Oh,
sparkly
yeah.
version of this card. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a fun one. Delicate Flowers. It's a good stamp and die bundle. And I think it just went back in stock
Oh,
yesterday.
good.
So yeah, yeah.
So
So
some folks are asking about where to find this stuff. If you go to the top of my YouTube description, there's a visual supply list. It has the word live in it. Click that and it'll open up to a new page where you'll see thumbnails of all the products we talk about. The only thing is Mike is adding things as Gina shares them. So you might have to refresh that page. And when you refresh it, anything she talks about will get added. A few people had some questions. One was, I think you used the master layouts too for the inside, right?
yes, I used Master Layouts 2 for the inside. And
And
then
then
for
the
the
outside
outside,
ones.
I used the double stitched and single stitched rectangles. And
Excellent,
so I
excellent.
think Mike or Brienne would
Yep,
probably share those as well. Yeah.
yep, it's
Yeah.
added to that list.
And I'm telling you, these are so useful for so many cards. They're just a
Yeah.
beautiful grounding panel for any kind of card project. But they work so nicely for this layout too. I love that. So
Another question some folks had is the intricate. Do they need to place an order for that separate than everything else?
well, I would suggest that they do, and here's
Okay.
why. If they place an order for the intracut separately, they're going to get a free incentive set.
Right.
If then they place the rest of their order, and let's say they have $75 more, they can write in the special notes box, please send me the alternative incentive, and we'll send you a
Ah,
completely different incentive, and you get 2 free stamp sets. So that's
okay.
kind of why we say, break those orders up and get 2 free gifts.
Yeah,
Both are
that's
going to,
smart.
the intracut is always going to have that little bit of a surcharge for shipping,
Right, because
but
it
your
weighs
other
so
order won't.
much.
Right. But your other order, if it's $75, is going to ship for free if you're in the US. So why not get the 2
Awesome.
incentives? They're $11 stamp sets. So
I love the incentive this month. It's one of my favorites. And you sell the dies to it too. So if
yeah.
you get it for free, you can just add into your cart also the dies, buy the dies and it'll match with it. And I'll be showing those. I'll show it with this next card.
And Jennifer, we also have polyglaze for it. So if you want to do the same versions of those
Oh
greetings
yeah.
in gold or silver, you could add that too. And that'll help you reach that $75 mark so you get the free set.
So I bought several packs of that on my order that I did a couple days ago because I want to do a video where I just show bulk foiling of
Oh, fun.
those sentiments and show how to do that because it's a great way to have beautiful sentiments very quickly that are foiled.
Awesome.
Okay, should I dive into one now?
Your turn. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, it's funny because the pieces I prepped are in turquoise sea also. We picked the
Well, of
same
course
one.
they are. And we
course
both
they
have turquoise in our shirts too.
Of course, of course. Okay, Mike, how do I switch to me on the screen? There we go. Okay.
There you go.
So I will start with, this is the card we're doing. And I don't really think, I've taught this in classes similar, but I've never shown it on my blog before. And I think it's really, really fun and easy to do. And it's just like yours, one that you can use any supplies with. So this is what the card looks like folded. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And when you open it up, it's got this little extra trifold kind of element.
That's gorgeous.
It stands really cool on display. It kind of looks like that on display. And then you could decorate this, but I leave this blank to write my personal message. So I used lots of old products on this, except the sentiment. This is the incentive stamp set that Gina and I have been talking about. It's the Elegant Thoughts. This is free with $75 right now. And if you want to, you can buy the dies to go with it. And that's what I used for the sentiment there. So that's what we were talking about. So I'm going to show you the base of this. It's very easy to do. But remember, when this live is over, I'm going to put up a video showing all the things I did on this card and the next one. All right, so you'll start with cardstock. I'm doing turquoise sea because, that's how Gina and I roll. I'm cutting mine to 5.5. Mine's a little bit different than hers. It's 5 by 10 1/4. So this is 5.5 by 10 1/4. Sorry, 5.5 by 10 1/4. And this is going to fold up to give us 4 1/4 by 5.5. All right, so now we have to do 2 score lines on this, and they're really easy. The first one is at 3 inches, and the second one is at 6 inches. Very, very easy. So I'm going to do a Z fold on this and reinforce those fold lines. Now you could always make a card like this and just put like an element kind of hanging off the front right here, and that would be a fun card, but we're going to add to that. Let's see. Gina, are you restocking the holiday floral bundle?
Yes, by the end of today, it'll be back in stock.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
quick. That's
Yep,
quick.
it's here in the building. They're just counting it. We just
Gotcha.
talked about it in the hall before we went live. Yeah. So that's a good one for getting that
Good
discount.
timing.
Yeah.
Good timing. So I've used in my videos many times Master Layouts dies. You use Master Layouts too today. If anybody's not familiar with Master Layouts dies, Gina has lots of them. 15? How many do you have?
17
17
now. Yeah.
So the nice thing is there are a lot of commonly used shapes. And as she was mentioning earlier, a lot of times they have faux stitching. Let me show you this up close. So the smaller of the 2 dies has faux stitching. Then the slightly larger will cut a very fine trim around it, a very fine mat. And that's so much easier than doing some odd measurements. Now this one I believe is for slimline, these big rectangles, but I'm going to use this big rectangle for this card. So this cuts a rectangle that's 3.5 by 8.5 with faux stitching. If you don't have this, you can just cut a piece to 3.5 by 8.5, but this faux stitching really adds a lot to it. And I will also be using these 2 dies on my next card. So this is Master Layouts 10. It's one that I use quite often because I love those frames. So this is that piece that I cut with Master Layouts 10. It's 3.5 by 8.5. We're doing 2 score lines on this. The first is at 2 3/4. Then we'll rotate it and score again at 2 3/4. And once again, we will do that kind of fun Z fold. So you just kind of Z fold it, accordion fold. Now you'll notice that doesn't match up completely. Okay, let me show you closer. See how that doesn't match up completely? That's okay. So you can see the 2 flaps are not as wide as that fold in the middle, but that's okay. I did it this way because it's easier measurements. It just works okay. So now you've got this fun Z fold that matches the Z fold of our card base. So we just need to glue these 2 together. And I recommend using Gina K Connect for this because you want that wiggle time. You want some wiggle time to get it just right. So I have my Z fold here, and on one of the flaps here, on the end, I'm putting some Connect. And a little goes a long way with Connect. It's the glue you can trust. It's like your best friend glue. So I'm going to place this on the inside here, about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Okay? And then I'm going to press this down. And this edge of this fold line here should line up with the edge of your card. So I'm going to wiggle it till it lines up. So the edge of this fold line lines up with the edge of the card. So it looks like this right now. All right. Then I'll put glue on this right here. I'm going to put some right here on the edge. Oops, got a little carried away. And I'm also going to put a little bit on the edge here, just so I make sure it's secure. So I'll just put a little glue there. So now on this little flap here and right there, I'm going to press this down. So now this part is secured to the front of the card. And now you have a very simple double, I don't know what to call this, double Z fold something or other. And there you go.
That is
And
fantastic.
Because
man,
I
that's-
used Gina's Master Layouts, look at that nice fine faux stitching that goes all the way around it and gives it a nice finished look. I love that. So you could do on this blue panel, you could do, you know, the card base. You can do stamping on it, whatever you want. I used an older Gina K stencil called Foliage. And this is your, do you call it craft? I think you call it craft cardstock.
Yeah.
I like your craft cardstock because it's 100 pound. It's nice and heavyweight, so it's great for card base. I did the older foliage stencil here with white pigment ink, and I repeated that pattern over the whole thing. Then I glued that white Z-fold, and then all of these flowers I created with one of your older sets that's a favorite of mine. I was breaking out the old stuff today. This is the Breath of Sunshine, and I used the flowers and leaves from that. But notice this has pumpkins. I thought about doing like a row of pumpkins going across. That would be fun too.
Oh,
And
that's so cute.
I used a rainbow of Gina's inks. I love Gina's inks because she has like a classic color palette that covers everything. I say that a lot in videos, and it's perfect to do that rainbow. I did gold embossing for the centers. I like how you give different options. And the whole process of making this card and some additional tips are in that video I'll put up after this live is over. Wendy said I could call this the ZZ Top Fold.
That's great. I love it.
That's awesome. And then one last thing on here, just a reminder, I used the incentive stamp. Now this stamp set is free right now, it's $75, but next month it'll be for sale, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But the dies are
Yep.
for sale now, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's my double ZZ Top Fold, or my ZZ Top Fold. I am going with that. I like it. My
I
ZZ
love
Top
that.
Fold.
Yeah. That's a great
So
name.
you can-
It's a beautiful card, Jennifer. It's absolutely stunning. And I love one of the things I love that you did is when it opens up, it's got more design elements going on the inside, but they're completely covered when it's closed. Like you don't know that surprise is going to be there. It's so fun.
For sure. And then, of course, to write personal message. But if you wanted to decorate that whole thing, you could always put a personal message on the back. But I like to have it right there. And the nice thing is, if it stands up on display, this is what it looks like, and you don't see that personal message off to the side, you just see that rainbow when it
Love
stands up.
it. That's
So,
such
Wendy-
a great design. Wow.
Thank you for the ZZ Top idea. Now, I don't have templates. I'm not as savvy as Gina, but what you could do is make this card base and just write on this piece. Like you can write directly on here, 5.5 by 10 1/4. Write your score lines at 3 and 6, and then write the size of this on here, and then keep this. So that's another thing you can do, and just bookmark the video. There we go.
Boy, I love it. I love it. That's great.
So that's
Wow.
tag. You're it. It's your turn again.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's do it.
I loved yours. The one you did at the beginning is my new favorite. I love that. I got to try it.
I don't know. I don't know. What you just did is pretty amazing. And what I love about yours is so easy to do too. And
Yeah.
again, just making it like you did and storing it, and even just, writing down the name of the video. So it's easy to find
Yeah.
the video when you want to go back and watch it again. Now, you can't write it down until after this video because that's when you're going to post it. But
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I love it. All right.
In my
well, what do I show
Real
next?
quick, somebody just asked the measurements. The video I put up after this will go through that process again, and the measurements will be more clear. So you don't have to remember it here if you don't want to. You can also catch the next video. All right.
Fabulous. All right. Well, let me see. I've got a couple templates here, so I want to find the next one. I think this is the one I want to use here. So this is called the Perfect Spring Fancy Fold card. Okay.
Can you add that to
So-
the supply list?
So this is kind of, some people call this a stair step card. It stands like this.
I
side.
see. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
I love
and
that.
So,
Look
yeah.
at that.
So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this before we actually put this card together. We have a die set that I designed specifically for fancy folds, and that is called Master Layouts 13. And Master Layouts 13 cuts these types of fancy fold panels in here, and it will also cut fancy fold panels for gatefold cards. These two kinds of panels right here. So if you're looking for one die set that's going to cut a bunch of panels that work, because Jennifer, I've seen you do a gatefold card this size where you have
Yep.
this panel over
Yeah.
here and they come in together, right?
Yeah.
They open, right? So it would be
Yeah.
like this would have another one like
Oh.
this, right? So it's that gatefold on
Oh.
the horizontal or the gatefold on the vertical. This die set has panels that will upholster those two gatefold um, panels on the vertical and also on the horizontal. So I did want to point that out because this is what I used to make both of these cards. And although this one is a gatefold, and I do have a template for this one on my blog, the one I'm going to show you today is what some people call it a stair step card. I called it the perfect spring fancy fold because that was the name of the video and I wanted people to be able to find it when they look
Yeah.
at the video. So let me show you how easy this one is to make. And once again, we do need, should I do turquoise again?
Well, yeah.
Why not? Okay, so
My
I'll do
next one's turquoise.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. I'm going to do turquoise and white for these panels. And I might have to add black in there too. So this is going to be pretty easy. Now, your largest piece of cardstock, and these templates, when you print them out, they're not to scale. So don't try to measure that. Use what it says on here, okay?
Okay.
So let's see here. We are going to do the 4 1/4. So I know I'm probably not completely on the screen, so you
That's
can't see
okay.
that, but that's okay. 4 1/4 by 11, which is what that is. And then we need a panel that is 4 by 10. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we've got these two panels here. Then what I did for this large panel is once again, I used master layouts 2. And for these two panels, I used master layouts 13. But if you have my template, you don't have to have this die set because the measurements for those are right here. So you can just cut
Okay.
them with your paper cutter. You can still make this card. I don't want anybody to feel left out because you
Right.
don't have the dies. But I am going to use the dies because it's just
Yeah.
so easy. So let me do that again. And I did see a bunch of questions about the intercut and some other things. So maybe while I'm doing this cutting, Jennifer, maybe you can tackle some of those questions because you have experience with that machine. Or if you want me to do it, I'm certainly happy to do that as well.
So you're
Now,
go ahead. You go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna cut some different colors here just so that we really have some separation so we can see. I'm just grabbing my scraps out of here. So I'm gonna cut 2 of these panels and 2 of these panels. I'm going to use green for these 2 and I'm going to use black for these 2. Okay. And I'm doing that using Master Layouts 13. So these are the small dies and these will work for the horizontal gatefolds or for this fancy stair step that we're doing right now. So I'm going to cut 2.
I didn't realize this. Now this like changes everything because I used to have to measure and cut these.
Yeah, and you get the little the decorative stitching too, which really dresses it up quite a bit, you know?
You know what we might have to do in a future tag team is take like one master layout set and show the different things you can do with it.
That would be
somebody
so
asked if
fun.
somebody asked if there's like somewhere where it shows what all the master layouts sets do. I think we're going to have to tackle that.
I think that would be a great tag team video. We could take, there's a couple master layouts that work together. And so
Okay.
maybe we take 2 of them and we can show people how they work together to create, you know, all kinds of things and mix and match. So yeah, that would be fun. Put it on the calendar, J-Mac.
Yeah, we can do it. Maybe that'll be the next one.
Yes, definitely. So I'm cutting the 2 larger panels, and you'll know which one is larger always because it won't have stitching. The stitched ones are always the smaller ones. So I'm cutting these in my, you know, signature black because I can't make a card without black. It's very hard for me. I like the little border on the end. And then I'm going to go back to Master Layouts 2, and I'm going to cut these same colors in Master Layouts 2 because that'll be my big panel. But again, with this template, you don't have to worry if you don't have this die set. You can always just cut them using the measurements that are on the template.
So the measurements for these pieces are on the template if you don't have the dies to cut them.
Yep, they are. And all the templates are free. You just go to my blog and just download them. They're PDFs. You can download them and just print them out. So,
All right.
and I love your idea of like putting them in the page protectors and then putting them with your sample. I mean, that's really smart.
And by the way, the template she's using today, I put at the bottom of my supply list. The supplies she's using are at the top of the supply list. The templates are at the bottom. If you just refresh it, things will get added as she's doing it.
I just cut the wrong one, so.
Oh, it sounds like something I do.
Does that sound right?
Yes,
And
of course.
I've also lost one of my dies too, so that's good. Did I put it back in the middle here? Maybe not. So maybe I'll just hand cut this one to show you that it's possible. So this is going to be the black panel that would work with Master Layouts 2, which measures 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then I will cut this stitched one out of white. And again, the nice thing is I know that when you go to watch Jennifer's video, all of the measurements are going to be there. So if you're not taking notes, you'll be able to watch her video and pause the video and take the notes. So don't feel pressured if you're not remembering all the measurements. We're throwing a lot of numbers at you today, and we know that. And then if you can't remember mine or you're not writing them down, no big deal, because you're going to be able to just download the template. So either way, you're covered. Okay, let me get rid of this, and then we'll do when I say this sticks to your surface, it sticks to your surface. Okay.
People love your templates. Brianne just texted me and said, people love, Gina's templates are a huge hit.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Yes.
I am so glad. Okay, so now what we're going to do with this large one is we're going to just fold it at 5.5 inches. So this is going to be our card base. You see, I just missed 5.5 inches completely.
Yeah, I do that too.
It's all right. We'll just flatten that out, right?
It's
and
fine.
that's going to be your card base. All right. Now, if you want, you can cut another panel here. Well, you're going to cut another panel here. That's this panel. And that's going to be the back of this stair step.
Okay.
So we're going to take this now and we're going to score it at the 2.5 inch mark. 2.5 inch mark and the 5 inch mark.
Okay.
All right. So these create our steps. We're going to fold one down forward and one up. All right.
Okay.
And now we're going to just press those lines in. Now we've got our steps there. All right. Now this is going to adhere. Wait a minute. Let me grab this. Let's put these two together first. Okay. So now we're going to put this panel, which measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. I know there are people taking notes, so I just feel like I have to say it because they want to know. They want to know now. And then I'm going to adhere this to this panel, which is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. These are the same exact sizes from the Master Layouts 2 die set.
Okay.
All right.
I love that black trim. That is like signature Gina right there. Every time I'm matte in black, I am channeling you.
You think of me. That's so sweet.
I do.
And now this green panel here measures 2 inches by 3.5, and it's going to go on a 2 1/8 by 3 5/8 layer. And that's another reason why I really like the Master Layouts, because a lot of people, once you start saying eighths, I mean, their eyes glaze over, and I get it.
I know. I know.
Are tricky. And so being able to just die cut them does make it easier. All right. So now we've got our little decorative panels. And remember, these will work on that horizontal gatefold. And I know you have, Jennifer has so many videos showing you that. And it will work to come together to make that horizontal gatefold. But we're doing the stair step here. So now we're going to take this whole panel here and we're going to adhere it to this card base that we made. I'm just going to center that. Okay. And now here comes the fun part. Here's where we upholster. So we're putting this panel in here,
Upholster. I love it.
right? We're going to upholster this one. We're going to have just a little bit of a border at the top. It can go right down to the edge if you want it to.
That's awesome.
Okay. And then we're going to upholster this here so that when it's standing open, it still looks pretty on the inside.
Yeah. Somebody said that it scrolled by too quick. I'm sorry, I didn't see who said it. Oh, here it is. Kate said, at eighth of an inch, my mind goes to the beach. It's true, and that's why the master layouts are great, because that it'll have like the basic size with this faux stitching, and then one that's just a little bit bigger, so you don't have to measure that eighth of an inch stuff, and you can
Yes, exactly.
keep crafting.
And so there now we've got it so that it's a cute little stair step.
That's awesome.
And then, Brianne, help me. Help me know what stencil set this is. I believe it's
Oh,
called
she's
Summer.
so fast.
So I'm going to look it up and then I'll tell Mike and Brianne. But I should have written these down. And I made this one with the same exact stamp set. I believe it's called, I'll look it up. But
Okay.
it's a summer stencil set. I think it's called the Summer Blooms, something like that. But I did some wood graining on my panels. And then I just stenciled and die cut. So you all have big die cut flowers, right? And you could just do the same one twice and create these clusters so that when it is standing upright, you've got dimension. It's like almost like a flower
Yeah.
box where the flowers are in the back, the flowers are in the front. And then because it's on a card base, you can still do all of your writing on the inside, and that will help it stand up. So this way, if you could do it just like this if you want without the card base, but then they can't stand it up. So it's kind of fun
Yeah.
to be able to have that card base right there
I like the
to
card
write
base.
inside, and it hides what you're writing just like yours did. So
Yeah, I like to
this
hide
one,
that.
yeah, and actually, I think what I'm going to do real quick here, because I have my phone, is I'm just going to show you how easy this is. So all you have to do, let me shut off our video here. All you have to do is open your camera app on your phone, and then you just go right over that, and it'll take you right to the video. And here's the
So
video,
smart.
the perfect spring fancy fold card. And then I'll just tell you what that's called because I have it here. Okay, so I used, let's see.
I'm trying
Oh,
to
you know
find it. I'm
what?
not having luck.
I made a different one here. This is the same card, but I think I made a different card and used some different things. I used some ephemera and stuff like that. So let me look for it, Jennifer. I will come
Okay.
back after
Oh, I
you're
found
done.
it.
You did? Okay,
I think
what's
it's
it called?
Fancy Florals layering
Fancy Floral.
stencils.
Okay.
And you have
perfect.
dies to go. You have stencils and you have dies.
Yep. So there's stencils, there's dies, and then there's this fancy greetings that goes with it. And both of these greetings are from
Oh, yeah.
the fancy greetings. So you can
Yeah.
see here if you're interested in that that Master Layouts 13. This was another card that was made with all the same stamps,
same
all the
supplies.
same stencils, and all the same dies.
I
So it's
don't.
just a totally different fancy fold.
Yeah, some people were saying it's summer bouquet. I don't think so. Let me check. It's a
Let
little
me
bit
look
different.
too. Yeah. Let me look.
This one, we were just looking
Yeah.
at the word summer.
Yeah, it's not summer bouquet is a little different. It would be beautiful too.
Yeah, it would be.
It is Fancy Florals, and there's a stamp set called Fancy Phrases and a die set to go with it, and then there's a stencil to do the flowers and a die to cut the flowers. That's a beautiful
Yep.
one. I've used that one before too. And if you refresh that live supply list page, it'll be at the top. Mike just added it.
Yep.
You just got to
Yep,
refresh to be able to see it.
And you're right. I look too just to make sure fancy florals and then
Yep.
fancy phrases. This is called fancy
Those are
phrases.
fantastic.
Fancy florals, fancy phrases. And again, Master Layouts 13 to upholster the different little panels. So
That's
there you
awesome.
go. Yeah. And I think I might have a template for this one too. I'm just
So
going to look
smart.
real quick. I'm just going to look real quick.
If I had
It's
any
probably, I
design
don't have them all.
capabilities, I would do a template, but I have no design capabilities, so there's
Yeah,
no
but you
template
have
for me.
some amazing design capabilities on your YouTube videos, so I'm sure
I
nobody's
don't know.
upset.
I don't know.
Oh,
All
goodness.
right.
All right, your turn, girl.
Last one.
That keeps coming in, that question.
What question? Okay, folks really want to know what the sentiment was on your first card. Do you think you could look that up while I'm going
I
here?
will.
Thank
Yep,
you,
I will
thank you,
look
thank
that
you.
up right now. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so let me switch here. How do I switch to her in the corner, Mike? There we go. Sorry, we're having trouble with that today. Okay, here is my next card. Now this is a little over the top, but you know, sometimes you have to.
Oh, look at
So
that card,
here's
though.
the card and it flattens, but watch, it pops up. I mean, it's got like crazy pop-up dimension, just craziness. And it looks really cool on display. So this is like, I know, I put a lot of dimension on this. You'll see in the video that I put up after this, all that I added to it. You could definitely, and in that video I talk about things you can skip if you don't want this much dimension on it. But you can see it flattens, and then when you take it out, it just pops right up. And it's got these little like flaps that stick out the side that are fun. So in that video, I show how I did this foiling. This is using Gina's foil and her fuse machine, and I talk about how I made matching die cuts with the foil. So that's all in the video that's going to go up right after this one. I'm going to make it live right after this one. And I show how I did the sentiment quickly. What I want to show you now is just the base for this kind of fun pop-up. I mean, it's got a ton of dimension. So it stands up nicely on display. I would say, if you're gonna have as much on your pop-up here as I do, I would make this top folding so it doesn't fall over. But if you put less on here, you can make it side folding. So this is a fun fold pop-up, not a fun fold card base, but it's just as fun. And I used for this the same master layouts I used on my last card. I used these frames. I thought these frames were great. To do this, you can use any large shape that's symmetrical, but it really does work well with these. It really works perfectly. So I'm going to demonstrate. Remember, this one is slightly bigger than this one, and this one has the faux stitching on the inside. Yeah, so it's kind of like an action wobbler, kind of, but you got these like pieces that kind of stick out diagonally, and it's just really different.
That's an amazing card. How fun is that to pull that out of the envelope and that just pops forward like that? It's so cute.
So Master Layouts 10 is perfect for that. So that's what I used here. You could do it with ovals, but you would miss like the little detailed corners. So the first thing I did was I created a card base here. I did this beforehand. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I put a piece of turquoise sea on there. Now, to do the base of this pop-up, you need 2 of the larger frames. Now, these were created with the larger die that does not have the faux stitching on it. And I need to do a fold line down the center. And I found the easiest way to do this is to find the halfway point between these 2 corners. Those 2 corners are 3 inches apart. So you can see there's 0, there's 3. So I'll do a pencil mark at 1 1/2. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both of these. So any way you want to do to find the halfway mark will work. You could take it and fold it in half on your own, whatever you want. I thought that was the easiest. So now I have, I have the halfway point here, and I'm going to score on that halfway point. Let me lay this into my trimmer, or into my scoreboard here. I'm just going to do a quick score line right down the middle. And let's see if I got it. Yep, and fold that in half, and their edges should meet up. So you have this folded shape, and you need 2 of those. And again, I demonstrate all of this in the video I'm putting up after this, so you can go back and watch it if you need to. So I just fold both of those in half. So I have 2 that are exactly the same. All right. Now we need to add these to our card base. You could put it on your card base this way, or you could put it this way. I'm going to put it, you know what, for this example, I'm going to put it sideways, because in my video, I show it vertical. So I'm going to put it sideways this time. So I'm putting the only glue I trust, my best friend glue, my ride or die, Gina K, on the 2 flaps. So you can see there's Gina K on there. Connect, sorry. And I'm going to take these folded and I'm going to glue them centered so that the fold lines meet in the center. So I use the liquid adhesive because I can wiggle them and move them until they're centered. And that the fold lines are met up in the center. Let me make sure I did it straight. I use a T-ruler. Yep. So it looks like that. All right, so it's 2 of the same shape, folded in half, and then glued down to meet in the middle. Now I need to cut 2 pieces of cardstock. This is an excellent opportunity. Where's my smaller trimmer? Oh, it's hiding. Excellent opportunity to use some scraps. I'm going to cut these out of blue. Normally on my card I would do white, but I'm cutting them out of blue so you can see them better. All right, these pieces, you need 2 the exact same at 1 inch by 2 inch. So 2 little pieces here. 1 inch by 2 inch. Again, I would do white because when you look in, you would rather see white, but to make it more visible in the video, I'm doing the turquoise sea. Also, it's the greatest color next to sea glass. All right, so 1 by 2, and we're doing 3 score lines here. The first one is at a 1/2 inch, the second one is at 1 inch, and the third one is at 1.5. So I did 3 score lines, and we can accordion fold that so it looks like that. So it looks like an M from the side, but basically it's a paper spring that we created. And I'll do the same thing on the other. I'm scoring this piece, and remember it's 1 by 2. I score at a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. And we'll do the accordion fold again. Now, one thing I want to mention is if you use heavyweight cardstock like Gina's Turquoise Sea, you're going to get more pop-up here. If you don't want as much pop-up, you could use like a lighter weight cardstock, like an 80-pound, and the spring won't spring as much. Does that make sense? But yeah. I like a lot of dimension. So we have 2 of these that are exactly the same. All right, so I'm going to, on 1 flap here, I'll put the only glue you can trust right there on 1 flap. And I'll take that and put it so that this end here is about 1/4 of an inch from the fold lines on one side. Let me just stick it down. I think it's best to just see it. So it's going to be like that. So see it sticking out like that? Looks like an M sticking out there, or a bird or something. So there's one. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So I put liquid adhesive on one of the little flaps, and we have these both sticking out like that. It looks silly, but these 2 pieces here are what gives it even more oomph. Okay? So now I have another one here. This is the same frame. It's the bigger one from Master Layouts 10. I have these 2 platforms here. The 2 flaps that are facing up towards the camera. I'm putting glue on those. Liquid glue is really good here because we're going to want to wiggle once we put this down. I'll then take this and I'll press it down. And I want to try to get it like lined up so see how you get a new pattern here? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
that looks great.
Looks like that.
That's great.
And that pops up. And see how it kind of moves? These flaps kind of move. And then if you want to, you can skip this if you don't want as much dimension. But I use the smaller of the frames that has the faux stitching, and I can put that right on top. So now you can decorate that however you want, and it flattens and then pops up right away. All right? So there you go. It's like a fun fold on a card to make a pop-up. And I've done this in classes. I remember doing this in a class years ago when I taught in stores, but I don't think I've ever done it in a video. So I remembered it and I thought, what the heck, let's share it. So there we go.
Gosh, I love it in both orientations. I think it looks great. It fits perfectly on that horizontal one too. Yeah, that's gorgeous. And
so either way works.
What snowflake is that?
That is your, let me find it. I know I got it out. Just a second. Here it is. Snowflake Trio. That's an oldie but goodie.
That's the big one, right?
Yeah. How long has that been out? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Gosh, yeah. Probably 8 years, more than that. Yeah. Forever.
So I use these for the layered snowflake here, and in my video, I show how I did those. I use one of your snowflake polyglaze in the background with your brilliant blue foil, which is my favorite of your colors. And
That's so
then for
pretty.
the sentiment here, I used your new holiday season, the all at once. So let me show this real quick. It's in the video, but let me just show it because I think this is a great set. And you're going to do more of these, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have an
Okay,
all
good.
occasion one. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We'll
So
be doing more too.
it's one big stamp that stamps all these sentiments. And when you've stamped it, you just take the die over your stamped image and it will cut them all out at once. And I use the Warm Winter Wishes with black with white heat embossing.
That is
So
so
that-
beautiful.
That's, I don't have a name for this one. Maybe was it Wendy who came up with ZZ Top has a creative name
Maybe
for
she
this.
isn't. Yeah. Come on, Wendy. We're counting on you.
We need Wendy here. So you can use other shapes here, but I really feel like Gina's Master Layouts 10, this really works well. And that Master Layouts 10 also has the rectangle that worked well on my last card. So
That's so fun.
There you
And
go.
then, of course, you can use Master Layouts 10 just for slimline cards too. So
yep,
that's all designed to piece together to make a belly band in the middle of a slimline with that label for your, as a grounding panel for other images. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful.
I get it.
Yeah.
I need to do that
Yep.
sometime.
I know we got to do some of those videos, Jennifer. I think that they would really
We do.
People would enjoy that. So I just have a couple little things to show, if that's okay.
Please, please,
Okay,
please.
I'm not gonna actually make these, but I do want to show them to you because they are fun folds that you might want to do down the line. So
Okay.
the first one that I want to show you is this. I called this a flip fold card. This is similar to the Z fold card that Jennifer did, but it's a little bit different in that, of course, her ZZ Top card has that cool second layer in there, and you could maybe even add that into this. But this is just two master layouts, two panels that when you open them, it flips over like that. So it's a Z fold with two large master layouts. So from the front, it really doesn't look like a fancy fold. But when you try, you go to open it, it does open
Yeah.
like a fancy fold and sits up
And
like a fancy fold.
So much more interesting than just gluing it on the front of a rectangle card, And it's not
Yeah.
much more work.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's the flip flop?
That's the flip fold, fancy fold.
Oh, flip fold,
These,
okay.
these are all at that same link, so you can find them. The other one is this one, the fancy fold shadow box template. Super easy card to make. I've seen you make these cards too, Jennifer.
Yep.
This card, you can see here when it's in the envelope, it folds flat like that, so you can
Yep.
put it in the envelope. But when people open it, it looks like a shadow box, and then you add this little back panel to it so it can stand up. So, I think even for Christmas, if you are the type of person that likes to send photograph cards for Christmas, you could do this fold and then mount your picture, cut it out with a master layouts die, and then have a little shadow around the outside and have your photo kind of suspended in there, where then it becomes a little easel frame with your photo suspended. So this is a super fun, quick, fancy fold that's so easy to do and great if you want to do it for photos as well. And then I
So
have
smart.
one more to show you. This is
Real quick, by the way, the cards that I've done with that fold that she just showed, I call those bridge cards. So you could always
bridge
search on my channel for bridge card and find similar ideas. But use her template because that makes it super easy.
The shadow box template,
Yep.
I call it a shadow box
Yep.
card. And it's funny because you and I do these things and we come up with these things and we're like, oh, you made one of those too? What did you call yours?
No idea. I just make things up.
So this is a waterfall card, and I think this is a really fun, fancy fold because you can have your greetings inside the panels, and you can write a big message on the inside. But what's fun with this is each one of these little things, when you pull, has a message inside. So here we have believe, that better days are ahead, that God can work miracles.
I've never
So
made
that
one of those.
Oh, I think you would enjoy it.
Oh,
So
that's
all
awesome.
this is a regular A2 card. So the
Okay.
A2 part of the card isn't on this template, but the waterfall mechanism is, and it has all the score lines. You can use any shape. You don't have to use a heart. You can use an oval or a circle or anything else that you want. But this shows you the different panels to make the mechanism, and then it gives you the
So smart.
instructions right here. But if you want to see it, you can go right here with your phone, and this will pull you right to the video where I made this card. But isn't that fun? Little
That's
waterfall card.
incredible. I
And
do
I
need
feel
to
like
try
that's
that.
and I feel like if you didn't have stamps to go in there, you could do a handwritten message on each one.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, each
Yeah.
panel would have a handwritten message. So that's all I got today. There are other folds on my blog, but I don't have
Okay.
samples for them. So yeah,
Well,
that's it.
sometimes we mail those cards out, right?
I do. Yes, I do. Yep.
So, if you want to find Gina's templates, you go to her website and click blog, and you'll be able to see
Hmm.
them.
Yep.
However, if you go to my live link that's in the description, Mike has added them to the bottom of the supply list that it takes you to, so you can see the particular ones that she showed today, so it's easier for you to find.
Excellent.
Brianne also put a link to the templates in the chat there, so you can find all of her templates there.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I don't blog, but that's what I use the blog for
Yeah,
like charts and templates. So, yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was fun.
It was so fun, and I think a lot of good ideas to try, right? A lot
Yeah.
of fun ways, and don't forget you can decorate these things in your own way and make them uniquely your own too. So,
So I
yeah.
have discovered that I need to go through all my master layouts and have bug you to tell me all the things you can do with them so I can, like, I use them just for basic things, but I didn't realize some of these things were, like master layouts 13. I didn't know those things, that
Yeah.
they work. It's
They
amazing.
work together with other master layouts. For example,
Yeah.
we have a postage grid master layouts that works with master layouts 1. It also works with master layouts 2. So there's like all these different mix and match components and elements to them. And I try to think of ways to build upon, the last one to the next one. It's not always easy, but they're certainly very useful tools for your craft room.
So, which of all the master layouts do you recommend the most? What do you use the most?
If you're just starting out, I would say master layouts 2,
Me too.
because it's going to be that basic A2 one that gives you the stitches, it gives you little panels and greeting flags and
Yep.
things like that. And then I'm very partial to oh gosh, I really like our master layouts 8 because I like 5x7 cards. So when you
Yep.
want that bigger card, that's a good one too to have in your collection. But you got to take a look. Just when you click through Jennifer's link and you use your coupon code today, just type in master layouts and they'll all come up, and you can see all the different ones, and you can kind of pick what works for you too, because everybody's a
Yeah.
little different how they like to craft.
All the measurements for the dies included are, if you like click on one of the master layouts products in your website, they have a list of all the measurements of the dies in it, so you can
Hmm.
like look at what maybe you would use the most for your card making. But I agree, master layouts
Yeah,
2 is the one that I use the most for sure.
the good starter one. Yeah.
It
But I love
is.
what you
It
did
is.
with Master Layouts 10. And don't forget, Master Layouts 13 is the one that was designed for fancy folds. So if you really
Yeah.
like what you saw here today, go to Jennifer's uh, YouTube channel and just type in fancy folds, gatefold cards. She does a lot of those horizontal ones.
And
And,
I didn't know those worked with it. Now I
isn't that
know.
fun?
That's awesome.
And do you want to tell them your code again?
Yeah, the code is 15 Jennifer, and it
Hmm.
gives you 15% off everything at Gina K through Sunday, the 20th, October 20th. And it just excludes gift cards and previous orders. So this is a chance to get the fuse because it's in stock, get the intercut because it's in stock. And remember, if you spend over $75, as this is always on Gina's site. If you spend $75, you get a free stamp set. It's automatically added to your order. And over $50, you get free US shipping. So the best bet would be to spend over $75, use that discount code, and you get free US shipping and a free stamp set.
Yeah. And if you're going to spend $150, break the orders up into two,
Yeah,
because then
free
there's a
shipping.
little notes box when you check out, and you can say, this is my second order. Please send me the alternative incentive set, and you'll get two different free sets. We always keep that one a secret. Like,
You
you don't get to
have
see what that is, but it's fun.
you
So cute.
have the best customer service to tackle that, because
We,
that's hard to tackle.
yeah. Yeah, we've
And
got great ladies. Mhm.
one more thing, they really want to know what that sentiment was. Did you find it on the first
Yes,
card?
I did. It's from Dina Gerner's set called Morning Blessings.
Morning blessings. Okay, Mike will add that to the
Yep.
list. So if you wanted to see anything either of us use today, just go to that live list at the top of my YouTube description and reopen it. When you refresh it, it'll all show up there. And it also has the information about the code and free gifts and all that. So I
Yeah.
told y'all, Gina is generous Gina. Generous Gina.
Well, you're generous,
GG.
Jennifer. You're
Oh,
generous,
we have,
Jennifer, because you are always offering wonderful things to your audience, and you're a great resource. So whenever you're looking for sales and you're looking for live schedules and all of that, Jennifer's blog is the resource for the crafting
well,
world.
Gina's lives are Tuesday evening and Thursday afternoons. If you go to my
Yep.
website at the top, it says live events in the menu, and Gina's lives are there. So you can easily find when the next one is. Although I think most people watch them anyways. But we have giveaways before we go.
Oh yeah,
And to
yeah,
be
yeah.
eligible for the giveaway, just leave a comment. If you've left comments in the chat, that counts.
Yep.
We'll give you a couple minutes while Mike, and then Mike will pick some. But one of my giveaways is actually from a viewer. Her name is Nancy Rose, and she is super kind. She bought 2 of your Stamptember set that sold out so quickly.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
she emailed me and she said, I have an extra. If I send it to you, will you do it as a giveaway? So look what I have. The
That's
popular Stamptember set.
The stamps.
I
The
just have to
stamps.
tell you, Jennifer, that set right now on eBay, I saw it on eBay for $250. Can you believe it?
Well,
That's what happens when they sell out.
yeah.
You know, people want it. I don't know.
Mike's like, suddenly this set is no longer available. No, it's just the stamp set. We don't have the dies, but it's not available anymore and it never will be. So this is
Yeah.
a good one. So we're giving away that. And then we're both giving away, do you want to tell them?
Yeah, we're each giving away a $25 gift card. So that means two $25 gift cards. Mike is going to choose winners for. And so you can use
Yep.
that. Gift cards never expire. So if you already placed an order and you're thinking, just hold on to it because down the line there's going to be something that you want, save it for a rainy day. They don't expire.
And you told me that your upcoming release is fantastic, right?
It's
Your
the
next
biggest
release?
release of the year. Yeah, yeah. And I got to tell you that, some very exciting things
I can't wait.
are
I
coming.
can't wait.
Yeah,
I don't know
totally
yet
new,
either. I can't wait.
totally new things. They're all coming, Jennifer.
Oh, good,
I
good.
got,
Okay, so
I
we
got to
need
send
3
them to you.
winners, Mike.
Yep.
All
Can you
right.
give us the winner of the Stamptember set is
Beth Weiss.
Beth Weiss.
W-E-I-S.
Yay, Beth.
Yes. And
Congratulations.
Nancy, again, thank you for sending that. This is a special treat. And
It
then
really is. Thank you, Nancy.
the first winner of a $25 gift card at Gina K is
Margie Fulcher.
Margie Fulcher.
F-U-L.
Yay, Margie.
Yay! We don't have the applause like you guys do on your channel. And then
That's all right. We can be
the other
applause.
winner of $25 at Gina K is
Bonnie King.
Bonnie King.
Bonnie. Woohoo.
Yay!
Right. That's so
Well,
fun.
thank you. Thank you
Oh,
for coming.
Jennifer,
I
this was-
appreciate it.
It was so fun. I always have so much fun with you. I wish we had more time that we could do these more often, but you're so busy. I'm so
know.
busy.
Yeah.
But it's good that we get them in once in a while.
Yeah, we're doing about once a month. That's not bad. So
That's not bad,
people asked if there will be another one. Definitely, we'll
yeah.
do another one. We don't have a date yet, but it'll
No.
be, I'm sure, sometime in November. We'll come up with something to tag team about because these are fun.
Yeah, they are so fun. Well, thank you so
All
much for
right.
having me.
Thank you. Thank you. And everybody, everything's in the YouTube description below. So you can follow those links to find all the templates Gina used and the supplies she used. It's all there. And I am going to go right now and put up my video showing how I made these 2 cards. So you can keep watching if you want to. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. And I think that's it. Thank you again,
That's
Gina.
it. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. And thanks, Mike
No
And
problem.
Tom. Thank you.
and Tom. Yes.
Yep. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was fun.